we have been waiting for the Fed to
Welcome back,
actually act on XRP as well. And now it's finally doing it.
YouTube. I love being here. And of course, I hope you're having a great day. Today's the big day. Today is the monster day. It is huge, as they would say, with the Fed. And they could change everything. Now, they could go out there and cut by 50 basis points. I don't think so. They could cut by 25 basis points. Everybody thinks so. Or they could not cut at all, which I don't think.
I don't think that's going to happen. Like, not a cutting at all. Because right now the markets and the economy is getting just better and better. And usually when the economy gets good, you don't need to have high interest rates anymore. You can decide, okay, I'm going to cut these. And that's what they're doing here.
There's a chance out there at all that would even happen. But we're going to see everything start to change in a good way. In other words, as they lower rates from the Fed, and you may say, what do I care, Mo? I don't care about none of it. You do, because it's the rates of the Fed kind of directly affect the rates that we all pay for mortgages, car loans, credit cards, all that, and the other things. So if you want your credit interest to go lower, then you want the Fed to cut.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people trying to buy houses or having loans, they'll just double down and get that interest rate now that is going to be cut. They're going to be waiting a few days because like 0.5%, 0.75% can really add up over time. It can be a big problem.
And of course, for those trying to refinance or buy a home or any of that, we need these rates to come down. And more importantly, if we continue to see a deterioration in the job claims, and the jobless claims, and the unemployment and all that, you better hope they start lowering rates. And you got to ask yourself, what's the biggest part of what the Fed does? Is it the jobs to keep that solid, or is it the inflation? And they have a dual mandate, and they're supposed to keep them both. You know, the inflation around 2%, jobs really solid.
When jobs like drop anyway, we got like a lower, more unemployment, but then we also got more jobs this month, if I remember correctly. So it's not that big of a problem cutting these rates. And the reason why they're cutting rates anyway is to make more jobs. It's very clear.
Which one do you let go if you can only save one? And it's what was that one? You know, it's not a good situation. Let's just put it that way. It's not good. And they had to face that. I think it was during the 70s. I can't remember what the guy's name was who had to deal with that for the Fed, but it was a bad situation. We don't want to get in that situation. I don't think we have to, but we got a lot to talk about in this. I'm going to update the portfolio for you. I'm going to show you that in this video. More importantly, folks, man, it was wildfire. For those who got in, man, a lot of people. I'll show you.
So yeah, pretty clear idea that XRP rate cuts here would boost the price.
You're going to have, 1 or 2 out of 5 that don't pan out. But the ones that pan out, boy, they pan out.
So here we have, just watch and see.
A lot of times, and like I said, we're hitting about 83% overall, which is fantastic. Next on the list, though, before I get into everything, make sure you guys, the third link down below right here, you guys see that Moo link? Yeah, absolutely fire. This is one of the best promos I've ever seen them do. And they have the deposit 100 or more. They got NVIDIA stock 20, 2,000 or more, the 50.
So yeah, pretty clear idea here is Ethereum is going down just a bit, also because the hype is down. And I feel like that's pretty normal for September anyway.
Show you guys this again though. This is Ethereum, right? So you go up to Ethereum and you look at where we are in terms of the run from low to high over this. So we got here and we just ran like a champ. Look where we came down at, and we're seeing strong strength at the 50%. But look where it got down to. It hit the 61.8 and bounced back up now. And so I'm hoping the 50% holds here and we start to move back up. The Fed's going to have a lot to do with this. If the Fed comes out and talks very dovish and they're going to cut and
there's no reason to not cut at this point. They have a ton of reason to go ahead and cut it and boost the market, make everyone happy. Everyone is going to be glad that they cut it. Everybody's going to win. And later on, 2026, they can talk about maybe increasing it again if it gets worse. I don't think we're going to get 3 rate cuts because that's very risky for them. But, you know, 1, 2 rate cuts, it can happen. I mean, 1 rate cut is guaranteed at this point. Maybe 2 rate cuts would be very nice.
You start to see this start to move up because the riskier assets start to get a little bit of love. Now you're seeing us sell the news into the week before the Fed meeting. Keep that in mind. We'll keep that in mind for the next Fed meeting, see if it's the same or not. But right now, Ethereum continues to hold strong. Big move up, big move down, big move up, big move down, big move up, and you're seeing a big move down. How low does it go? Well, what do you notice about these big moves? New higher low, new higher low, and I am expecting a new higher low. That is my...
This pretty much doesn't mean anything in my opinion, because it all depends on when we get these rate cuts. You know, if you follow the crypto market cycles, is always when something, you know, big happens is when the crypto markets bump.
My opinion on this, and I can't tell you if that's going to be the way it is. I am watching this. It could, you know, if you start connecting dots and stuff, it could, as you see, it could come all the way down into this zone. Anything under here is what would make me nervous to the point of possibly reducing my exposure. But if you look at these lines of where they're at, this would be all the way down at that 4,300, which is not bad, 4,350. It's not that bad from where I'm at. And so I just wanted to give you an idea of what I'm watching, and we'll see how this goes for Ethereum. Now we're going to look at XRP, but before I do, let's pull up the portfolio.
So yeah, he has a $2 million portfolio, which has increased for him, and he's holding some assets here, which is pretty amazing. You know, props to him. That's a pretty good portfolio in my opinion. That's why I like showing this on my channel. It is absolutely amazing to reach 2.2 million, which some people will unfortunately never see in their lifetime.
From yesterday for everybody. I had somebody out there, oh, he lost money, didn't show it. Guys, I made money. I was up almost $9,000 yesterday. I am the most transparent person out here. And
yeah, he's probably the one of the few people that's actually showing her portfolio out there and what he's holding. So props to that. That's why, you know, Trader Mo is really good at that. Again, he's not telling people it's super risky in the crypto space. He's not telling people who loses, who wins. But he is showing people, hey, you know, some days are bad, some days are good. He also has shown in 2022 when his portfolio was down 200,000.
And it's incredible in terms of me showing exactly what I'm doing. Nothing was done yesterday. Somehow I got $32, so probably got a payment from one of these stocks or something in a dividend form. But I got, hey, $32, I'll take it. And yeah, and so yesterday you can see the stocks I have. Amazon bouncing back a little bit. Baba just freaking killing it for me. Remember, I brought this to you guys, and I even said, hey, I added Baba on. And you got, boom, 50,000. It's now 7.
The issue with stocks, they're awesome. They're more safe. But the ones below are the ones that are giving more returns based on the assets. Look at the people who bought, you know, 3 years ago. They're probably tripled their money. But again, it is super risky, and you never know when the ball might drop, and it's going to be like 3 or 4 years, and everything is crashing. That's what I'm worried about. At that point, I'm worried about what's going to happen next.
22,000 and under, I think it's like a month. Maybe 2 months. So 40% gain for everybody who listened. LHX is another big one that's been really good. 64% on NVIDIA. I think anybody could have picked that one. And Rocket's one that I'm playing for the longer term here. So I doubled up on this. I have another account with 100,000 in it. So I have 200,000 in that one. So far, so good. But I'd like to see that run like 20, 30, 40% up as well. So we'll see. Bitcoin, though, this is the one doing well today. Guys, I got it all the way up to, you can see it.
Yeah, so I feel like Bitcoin will stop running up at some point, and it's going to be altcoins. I still don't think we are full in altcoin season. It's still testing that area if we're fully going 100% down into altcoins. XRP still hasn't reached its maximum potential, and Bitcoin might have its full run before we see what we want to see, you know, crypto actually exploding at that point.
Maybe 2,800, Ethereum, blah, nothing really, and still down there overall on the Ethereum. The Solana, look at this, $4,000, the big winner, and I only have 47,000 in. So, and then you go down to, let's see, XRP, there you go, 2,600. So you put it all together, not a bad day today. We started at 2,231, now up 200 and, what do we got, 237,000 live here in the last 8 weeks. We'll see if we can push it up to 300,000 up by the end of September. Wouldn't that be good going into Q4 being up like that? It would be incredible. So that's what I'm watching for. Now, remember, the Fed, let's just take a look. They are 100% priced in at cutting at least 25 basis points. The odds of cutting 50 basis points, 4%, roughly 4%. So if they meet 25 times, one time they shock the world and they cut 50 basis points. Could this be the one? Could we have people?
Nah, I feel like that basis point cut is 100% at this point. You know, it's not even like 4%. He already hinted at it.
And this is going to be my opinion. Ready? I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a couple people, maybe 2 to 3, say we should cut 50 basis points. Now they're going to cut 25 basis points, but you're going to have dissenters. And I think you're going to have 2 to 3 dissenters saying we should have cut 50, putting the pressure on the Fed. And they're usually unanimous. And that, I don't know if that'll scare the market or absolutely make people in long-term bonds and treasuries like myself excited about that. You know, I put my money where my mouth is. I went in there and I bought some TMF here, which is a triple leverage, high risk. It could end up costing me a lot of money, but I got into this week and obviously, or last week, late last week, and I'm up 1,400 so far, but I'd like to make a lot more. And so that's a really, really dangerous. It's a TLT, but times 3. And there's massive decay on that. And it's kind of a short-term play. It's not meant for holding long-term, but I'm doing a little bit of an experiment. So we're going to see how this thing works out. Between the two, I
don't know what these are. He has XRPI, which I guess is like XRP, but ETFs. So he's holding about 100K of that, 110K. And you know, based on that, it pretty much tells me like his portfolio, he's very aggressive on XRP here. He's hoping for, you know, just checking at his portfolio here, he's definitely hoping that it pumps in that way by going hard on these altcoin stuff. I don't know what EZ is or Souls, and I think it's super risky because I don't know what they are. Probably like some ETFs or I never heard about. But here he has been doubling down on altcoins, which does, you know, kind of hint at me that it could be another, or at least people are expecting there's going to be another altcoin pump. So XRP already pumped a bit. It's trying to double down in that way. It's trying to get more pumps in that way.
So that's a really, really dangerous. It's a TLT, but times 3. And there's massive decay on that. And it's kind of a short-term play. It's not meant for holding long-term, but I'm doing a little bit of an experiment. So we're going to see how this thing works out. Between the two, I basically got 700,000 worth of 20-year plus or leveraged with it. So, yeah, so that's what we're looking at there. Now let's get to the XRP because I do want to show you this. It was actually up today. Or yesterday as I was talking about it. You can see a beautiful down to the 13 EMA, pushed back. Oh, the next day it opened right here, pushed down, and then the bulls pushed this thing all the way up, and we had a really nice engulfing candle here. So now
So again, a lot of whales are trying to push it through out of $3 to 3.66, but it just doesn't have that momentum yet. It's not at those stages yet. It's not in those levels where it can afford to go to $4. It will still take time.
We're on to today, and I'm not expecting a lot today until the Fed talks. Once the Fed talks, these candles are going to go nuts. What you're going to see now is a little bit up, a little bit down, or those who know starting to make moves before us who don't know, and all of a sudden the candles start to get affected. Right now, I'm loving what I'm seeing here. So you have this massive push up, a little bit of a sell-off down, bounces kind of off the 50 here, back up, 13's acting as support. And what we want to see is a nice, and we got a finishing candle above the 5 EMA, and then we want to see a nice opening, closing candle, and there's your line in the sand right there, folks. That what do I have there? About 307? Yeah. I told you.
That's nothing special. It's not really pumping in that way.
I want to be above $3. Above $3 makes me happy, go lucky, and that's good. Right here is a resistance that we did confirm above, but we confirmed above with a shooting star, which did push us down, and now I'm waiting to see if we can push back up. There you go. That's your XRP news. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
It just shows me it's not ready to push yet until we get like that big news that I was telling you guys about. But it is close. It is bullish. And it is close, and that's what I'm hopeful for. Who knows at this point? Could take weeks before that happens. But if it does happen, Well, that's great. So there's that. We have XRP, ready to get going. So there is still hope that October will start amazing, and this is what I'm pretty excited for. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. XRP move happening today at last. Let's check this out.